Hello, my name is Jati.
My name is Manycca.
Okay, today we will present about chapter 6.
Marketing price.
Okay, what is pricing?
Pricing is the one of the most important element of the marketing mix, as it is the only element of the marketing mix which generate a turnover for the organization.
What price policy in demand curve?
The demand curve shows the relation between price and quantity demanded holding other thing content. Other things include the price of related goods, consumer income, and consumer preferences. Changes the other things affect the positive of demand curve, which is negatively sloped.
Okay, what about supply curve?
The supply curve shows the relation between price and quantity supplied holding other things constant. Other things include like technology, input cost, for example, fertilizer or seeds, government regulations. The changes in these other things affect the positive or supply curve. It is positively sloped.
Okay, what about what about market equilibrium?
Market equilibrium is at the equilibrium where quantity demanded equals to the quantity supplied and the original price and original quantity.
Okay. Okay, what about market equilibrium and disequilibrium?
If the price below original price, there will be excess demand, such as consumer wish to purchase more than producer will wish to supply. Other than that, if the price below that original price, there will be supply. For example, producer wish to supply more than consumer with no purchase.
Okay. What about a shift in demand?
When the price of the goods decrease, it will decrease the demand of its substitute. For example, if the price of the coffee decrease, the demand of tea will decrease. So the price of substitute goods, which is coffee, decrease from original price to new price. The demand of tea shift from original demand to new demand. If the price stay at original price, there will be excess supply at original quantity, so the market move to the new equilibrium at new quantity, a new equilibrium to new quantity. Okay.
What factor that contribute to change in demand?
There are 7 factors, which firstly it is taste and preference. Second is price of substitute goods. For example, the price of coffee increase, it will increase the demand. Third is price of complementary goods. For example, is good consume together. Fourth is income and wealth. Fifth is expectation of price change, and the sixth is activities on promotional and advertising, and the last one is buyers in the market.
Okay. What about a shift in supply?
Suppose safety and regulation are tight increase production cost at producer cost, then the supply curve shift from original supply to new supply. If the price stay at original price, there will be excess in demand, so the market move to the new equilibrium at second equilibrium.
Okay, what factor contribute to change in supply?
There are four factors. Firstly is price of good, either substitute or supplementary. Second is changes in cost, which is land, labor, and machinery. Third is technologies, and the lastly is input price.
Okay, what the two ways in which demand may increase?
Firstly, it is a movement along the demand curve from A to B. For example, represent consumer reaction to a price change. This will follow a shift in supply. Second is a movement of demand curve from original demand to new demand. It is lead to an increase in demand at each price. For example, original price demanded increase from original quantity to new quantity, which is A to C. At new price, quantity demand increase from new quantity to a new quantity. For example, B to F.
Explain supply and demand in market condition.
If the demand is bigger than supply, so the price in the market will increase and the quantity will become low, it is decreased. So the market condition will call black market, inflation or rationing. But if the supply is bigger than demand, so the price will become decreased and the quantity will become increased. So the market condition will call dumping, auction, cheap sale or deflection. If demand is equal to supply, so the price will equal and quantity also to quantity, price equal to quantity. So the market condition will call price determination or equilibrium.
What the government stabilization program of pricing for the product?
There is two stabilization, which is price pegging and subsidies.
Okay. What is price pegging?
Price pegging is the process of fixing the price of agriculture product, usually primary products, regardless of its demand and supply in the market. Price pegging consists of the minimum to price floor, that is above equilibrium, and maximum or price ceiling, which is below equilibrium prices.
Okay, what is price floor or minimum floor and the price ceiling or maximum price?
For price floor or minimum price, it is the price imposed above the equilibrium and used to support farm prices and income of the farmers. It can cause significant resource allocation problems in the long run, because it can increase output in the long run. It can be seen as buyer's market because the long effect of product such as dumping, auction, cheap sale, or deflection. While for the price ceiling or maximum price is price below the equilibrium price. Sellers cannot set the price above the equilibrium. It is the seller market, and the long run productivity may cause decrease in the output and lead to black market rationing and inflation. For example, price of standard or premium rice.
Okay, what about subsidies?
Subsidy is a purchase to purchase guarantee.
What is subsidies?
Subsidies is a price guarantee to the farm places and to protect the farmers' income.
What the elasticity of the demand?
It measures the sensitivity of the quantities demanded to the changes in the price determination.
What the type of elasticity of the demand?
Firstly, elastic demand more than one when percentage change in quantity demand bigger than change in price. Example, quantity demand falls by 7% in response to a 5% increase in price. So it is elasticity is 7 per 5, which is 1.4. For example, luxury products such as sport cars, goods with more substitute and very competitive market, such as housing. The housing is, for example, is apartment, townhome or terrace. Second is inelastic demand smaller than 1. Price elasticity is between -1 and 0 when percent change in quantity demand smaller change in price. For example, quantity demand falls by 3.5 to respond to 5% increase in price. So elasticity 3.5 per 5 equal to 0.7. It is, for example, is agriculture product or necessity products. That is unitary elastic demand equal to 1 when price elasticity is exactly 1. When percentage change in quantity demand is equal to change in price. For example, quantity demand falls by 5% in response to 5% increase in price. So elasticity is 5 per 5 equal to 1. Means that for every percent increase or decrease in demand, there will equal corresponding increase or decrease in supply. For example, this is like cloth brand decreases in price in the Fourth is perfectly elastic demand. Price remain unchanged but change in quantity. All the price in 30 ringgit at infinite quantity is demand. At any other price, nothing is demand. So that we can say it this case that price elasticity is equal to infinity. For example, is goods that have substitutes. The consumer can switch easily to another product in the price changes.
Yeah.
So for the lastly is perfectly inelastic demand is 0. Quantity remain unchanged but change in price. Perfectly inelastic demand means that a consumer will buy a goods or service regardless of the movement of price. In order for perfectly inelastic demand to exist, there can be no substitute available. For example, it will be insulin to the diabetic patient, cigarettes, petrol. and petrol.
What about the price elasticity for linear demand curve?
The price elasticity varies along the length of a straight line demand curve.
What the description about elasticity?
Firstly, elastic, the equilibrium demand is more than 1, so the description is the percentage change in the demand is greater than the percentage change in price. Second is inelastic. The measure of elastic is equilibrium demand less than 1, so the description is the percentage change in demand is less than the percentage change in price. For the unitary elastic, measure of elasticity is equilibrium demand is equal to 1, so the description for the description is the percentage change in demand is the same as the percentage change in price. Next is perfectly elastic, where the measure of elasticity is equilibrium demand is negative. So the description is producer can sell as much they want at a certain price, but if they increase the price, demand falls to 0. Lastly is perfectly inelastic, where the measure of elasticity equilibrium demand is equal to 0, so the description is any change in price will have impact on quantity demand.
Okay, what the factor influencing price elasticity?
There are more factors. Firstly, product substitutability. For example, more substitutes good, more elastic, such as change in option. But while less substitute good, the elastic will less or inelastic. For luxury goods, elasticity is more than 1. For example, buy BMW car instead of Proton. For necessity, elasticity is less than 1. For example, basic food which is not sensitive to price. Next, it is income, where low income consumer will purchase on basic or necessities products, where demand is inelastic, and high income consumer will purchase on luxury items when demand is elastic. Next is price of goods, which either complementary of supplementary goods, for example coffee and sugar. Second last is habitual. This is depend on consumer preferences on the product demand. For example, smoker will buy cigarette because no other option. Lastly is time spent. For example, short run demand is inelastic and long run is demand is elastic.
Okay, what about cross price elasticity of demand?
The cross price elasticity of demand for goods with respect to the price of goods. Cross price elasticity is percentage change in quantity demand of goods A divide by percentage change in price of good B. So the equilibrium demand is if negative,
What about income elasticity of demand?
it is measure the sensitivity of quantity demand to change in income. Income elasticity is percentage change in quantity demand of good divided by percentage change in consumer income. For example, increase 10% in income and demand for good increase by 20%, the income elasticity of demand will be 20% per 10% equal to. Okay.
What the classified goods of elasticity?
Elasticity for demand more than one but less than one but more than zero is positive. The product is like necessity or normal product, for example cooking oil, dairy product or vegetable. If more than one, it also positive. The product is luxury goods, for example is wine, high quality chocolate and sport car. Next is for negative is the product is inferior goods, for example is frozen dinner or canned goods and instant noodles. For zero, the product is must or necessity goods, for example is salt and sugar.
If the elasticity is higher in the long run, what the effect of that?
Demand tends to be more elastic in the long run but relatively inelastic in the short run. Consumer demand on curve become more elastic over time as consumer adjust to changing price.
What is price policy?
Price it is refers to the organization procedure setting the right price to the right customer at the right place and at the right time. One method of price is price discrimination.
What is price discrimination?
Price discrimination is a situation whereby the seller charges different price or to different customer for the same product. There are 3 price discrimination schemes that includes, which is first degree or perfect price discrimination. This is for individual targeting. Second is second degree price discrimination for group targeting, and the third is third degree price discrimination. It is location of customer segment. Explanation for a first degree or perfect price discrimination is a firm offering different price to different buyers for the same good or service with the maximum amount that buyers are willing to pay for each unit. The firm then will earn a highest possibility profits. Most difficult to adopt because it requires the firm to know each of its customer perfectly of each level of consumption. For example, car dealership, doctor and lawyers, for such as service related business. For the second degree price discrimination, a firm giving all consumers the same price schedule but offering quantity discounts, the more you purchase, the more you save. The firm cannot distinguish between consumer types, so the firm has no choice but to offer all customer to same pricing scheme. For example, a family pack of a soap powder or biscuit tends to cost less per kg than smaller packs. For the third degree price discrimination is a firm is also able to distinguish between different consumer types. The firm then proceed to set different prices for each consumer types. Each consumer type has different shape of demand curve. One is more elastic than the other. Demand more than one elastic demand curve, the higher the price is pay. Firms can change different prices for the product or service at different times or different locations. For example, public transport service and movie theaters.
What is marketing cost?
Marketing cost is the cost involved in the marketing and will influence the profit or losses that are set by the sellers. The costs vary with the channel through which a particular commodity passes through. For example, cost of packing, transport, arrangement, loading, unloading, losses, and spoiler gas. Marketing costs can be categorized as labor cost, transportation cost, packaging cost, hire purchase machinery, depreciation, advertising, taxes, and maintenance, and utility costs. For example, water, electricity, telephone, and electronics.
What the total cost of marketing of commodity?
It is C equal to CF plus CM1 plus CM2 and plus other plus CMI, where the C is total cost of marketing of the commodity. CF is for cost paid by the producer from the time produce leave till he sell it, and CMI is cost incurred by the middleman in the process of buying and selling the products.
What the importance of studying marketing costs?
There are 4 important of studying marketing costs. Firstly is to ascertain which intermediaries the involved between producer and consumer. Second is to ascertain the total cost of marketing process of commodity. Third is to compare the price paid by the consumer with the price received by the producer. And the last one is to see whether there is any alternative to reduce the cost of marketing.
What the factor contribute to the marketing cost?
Firstly, it is population growth. Second is cost of food product marketing inputs. Third is consumer desires for additional food marketing service. Next is rising in population cost the physical quantity of food. Increase thus raising the total expenses of marketing food. Next is especially for labor and energy costs have added to the rising cost of marketing costs. And the last one is such as convenience food like candy, beverages, canned product, fast food, snack have further increased the food marketing bill.
How many ways of reducing marketing cost of farm product?
It is 5 ways. Firstly, increase efficiency in a wide range of activity between producer and customer. It is increasing the volume of business, improve handling method in pre-packing or storage and transporting, and adopting new managerial techniques and changes in marketing practice. Next is a second ways is reproduce profit in marketing at various stages. Third ways is reducing the risk by adopting hedging. Second last ways is improvement in marketing intelligence, and the last one is increasing the competition in marketing of farm products.
What the 5 internal factors that influence the price determination?
Firstly, it is objective of the firm. While fixing the prices of the product, the marketer should consider the objective of the firm. For instance, if the objective of firm is to increase ROI, which is return on investment, then it may change a higher price. And if the objective is to capture a large market share, then it may change a lower price. Second is it is a cost of production and marketing. If the cost of for production and distribution is high, it becomes impossible to determine low price. The firm also must to able to recover both the variable and fixed costs. For the third, it is image of the firm. The price of product may also be determined on the basis of the image of the firm in the market. For instance, Apple can demand a higher price for the brands as they enjoy goodwill in the market. Fourth factor is product life cycle. The stage at which the product is in its life cycle also affect its price. For instance, during the introductory stage, the firm may change lower price to attract customers, and during the growth stage, a firm may increase the price. And for the last factor is profit motive. Profit maximization. During a short run, a firm can earn maximum profit by changing high price. However, during long run, a firm reduce price per unit to capture bigger share of the market and hence earn high profit through increased sales. Next is promotional activity. If the firm incur heavy advertising and sales promotion costs, then the pricing for the product shall be kept high in order to recover the cost.
What the 7 environmental factors that affect the pricing?
There are 7 factors that affect the pricing. Firstly, it is government policy. Price should determine consisting price control policy of government, sales tax, and income tax policy. Second is legal. A marketer should be aware from a law the country before fixing prices. Price of obtained goods are restrict and fixed by the government. The cell does not have the freedom changing move than the determined price, for example, life-saving drugs. Third is channel intermediaries. The marketer must consider a number of channel intermediaries. The longer of chain intermediaries, the higher will be the price of the product or goods. For fourth factor is it is economic condition. At the time of negotiation, the consumer may have less money to spend, so the marketers may reduce the prices in order to influence the buying decision of the customer. For the point number 5, it is competition. While fixing the price of good, the firm needs to study the degree of competition in the market. If there are high competition, the price may be kept low to effectively face the competitors, and if competitors is low, prices may keep high. Next is consumer and market. The market should consider the element of buying behavior and method. Lastly, it is demand. Usually, customer demand more unit of a product when its price low, and vice versa. However, when the demand for a product is elastic, little variation in the price may result in large changes in quantity demand. In case of inelastic demand, a change in prices does not affect the demand significantly. Thus, a firm can change higher profit in case of inelastic demand.
Okay, this is end of the chapter 6.
Where is marketing price?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for watching.